Hello, this is Susan of Heritage Natural Health Community, and I want to talk to you today about some practical and homeopathic solutions for stress and stressful times. Um, no matter what age you are and what situation you're in, eventually you're going to run into times of stress. So I hope that this will help you in those times. And without further ado, I'll get started. My basket of remedies. So I'm starting with a question today. And the question is, are you feeling tired but wired? Are you running on empty? If so, this message is for you. But even if that's not you, this message is still for you because we all experience stress at some time in our life. And an example of a positive stress would be when your family has a baby or you move to an exciting new place. It's a positive thing, but it's still a stressful time of life. And some examples of stressful times you might go through are an accident or some kind of trauma. I'd also like to say that this video is not intended to treat or diagnose, and I ask that any comments refrain from speaking about specific conditions. If you have questions about specific conditions, please message me privately and we can set up a time to chat from there. So the first thing I want to do is a little anatomy lesson. You may or may not know that in the body, we have a couple of glands right on top of our kidneys, and those are called the adrenal glands. Those glands are very important when we talk about stress. And I'd like to read just a small excerpt from one of my favorite books, written by a Canadian naturopath. I'm sorry I look so orange. I can't seem to change the lighting of my camera, and it makes me look really orange. But I'm not really orange. I'm maybe a little tanned from a vacation in Costa Rica, but I'm definitely not orange. Anyway, carrying right along. This is called How Adrenal Function Affects Your Everyday Life. Just as Napoleon, a small man with great power, immobilized huge forces to make his presence felt in every part of his world, so your adrenal glands command powerful hormones to extend their influence throughout your body and your life. No bigger than a walnut and weighing less than a grape, each of your two adrenal glands sits like a tiny pyramid on top of a kidney. From this central location, they not only significantly affect the functioning of every tissue, organ, and gland in your body, they also have important effects on the way you think and feel. The forces that these two little Napoleons mobilize largely determine the energy of your responses to every change in your internal and external environment. Whether they signal attack, retreat, or surrender, every cell responds accordingly and you feel the results. And I think we've all experienced that at some point, those little Napoleon glands taking over, which has in sometimes has made us act very wisely and maybe at other times not so wisely. It's all part of being human, and it's part of the stress response. That fight or flight is designed to help us deal with times of stress. So we want it, but we want it in balance. And that's what homeopathy is all about, is bringing things back into balance and telling the body how to work differently so that we can function more efficiently. So I'm going to go on to some remedies here. The first remedy is not a specific brand. This is just called AD number 1, and it's a combination blend that a homeopath can use to or suggest for someone to support their adrenals. So it's a combination of different homeopathic remedies in there. Like I said, this is just generic, so you probably have to talk to a homeopath about getting a combination like this to support your adrenals. Also, there is a branch of homeopathy called gemotherapy that's not very well known. And what gemotherapy is, it takes the buds of the plants and produces them homeopathically. And if you want to understand more about how homeopathic remedies are made, you'll have to look at one of my other videos because I explain it quite well. Or send me a message and I can explain. So this gemotherapy is, I'd say, the top gemotherapy remedy that I would recommend to people, because so many of us do experience stress and stress on those adrenals. So it's called Ribes nigrum, and it's made from black currant bud. So it has kind of a black currant flavor to it, and it's made in a glycerin suspension, and you would take it under your tongue in the morning, which is following the peaks and valleys of when your adrenals, when you want them to start secreting, and then when you want them to stop. And part of the fight and flight is that those adrenals are not secreting properly at the proper times. So Ribes nigrum is a wonderful remedy to support the adrenals. And you would need to take it from anywhere from a month up to 3 months, depending on what your homeopath recommends. If you want more information on Ribes nigrum, ask your homeopath, self included, and we'd be happy to give you more information. But it's a beautiful adrenal support. Another homeopathic type of remedy that is probably one of the most familiar stress remedies is rescue remedy. This is in a certain branch of homeopathic therapies called Bach flower remedies. These are remedies, just like it says, that are made from strictly from flowers. And so rescue remedy is a combination of different flower essences made homeopathically. And in this case, this is a spray that I can just spray under my tongue, and I get immediate results because it doesn't have to go through my digestive system. This is where you want to apply most homeopathic remedies, is under the tongue, because you have the 2 sublingual veins that go under your tongue, and so it's going to absorb right into your bloodstream and get to work right away, telling your body how to rebalance. So that's rescue remedy. You can get it in sprays, drops, or little candies that you can suck. I can't remember the name of what I was trying to say specifically. The other thing is, rescue remedy is one of the easier ones to find. You can find it in drugstores as well as health food stores, sometimes even in a grocery store. So that's rescue remedy. Now I'm going to talk specifically about a product from Boyrun. Boyrun is an international homeopathic company, and it's my #1 go-to for remedies as a homeopath. So as you see, this is pretty self-explanatory. Sedatil. It's for nervousness, hypersensitivity, irritability due to stress. And you'll also see on there, it says non-drowsy. So that's another beauty of homeopathics, is that they're not going to create the drowsiness and the sedation that you might get with medicinal types of solutions for anxiety and stress. So that's nice that they don't sedate. None of these will sedate you, unless, of course, that's what your body needs. If you're really tired and part of your body rebalancing is rest, then that's what you're going to want to do. So listen to your body. A couple more specific remedies that I'd like to introduce are 2 that start with an A, coincidentally. The first one is aconite, or Aconitum napellus. This is a 1 m dilution. You'll also see other ones that might say CH of some kind, like 5CH, 9CH, 15CH. Generally, the higher the remedy, the deeper acting it goes. So we can not only affect the physical side of the stress in this case, but also the mental, emotional side of it, the deeper we go. Ideally, a homeopath, their goal is to find your constitution. which is one remedy that you would take in a high dilution that would alleviate a number of your troublesome signs. So going back to aconite, this is a beautiful remedy, particularly for shock and also for weather-related incidents that are very sudden and generally cold, like all of a sudden a cold wind is affecting you, or you've had a shock, you've been in a car accident. It's creating stress in you, and it's because of the shock. So this is a wonderful remedy to have on hand for those unexpected events. The other one would be Arnica montana. And as you can hear, you can get homeopathics, as you've seen, in liquid form, but you can also get these little granules that you melt under your tongue. So I'll just show you. You take 5 granules, toss them under your tongue, don't touch them, and just let them melt there under your tongue. And that's how the remedy is going to go into your system and begin to work. Arnica montana is, you can use it as a tincture that's beautiful for bruising, but also in the homeopathic preparation. It's wonderful for any kind of a trauma. And again, I go back to that car accident scenario. You've been in an accident, you're shook up mentally and physically, you've possibly been hurt. So arnica would be your go-to remedy. These are 2 remedies that I think every household should have in their cabinet. However, that brings me to another little side point, and that is you should not store your homeopathic remedies near anything mint or anything strong. Like, for example, I have some essential oils here. I wouldn't want to store them together because anything that has a strong scent, especially mint, will cancel out the effectiveness of your homeopathic remedies. So you don't want to store it in your cabinet near your toothpaste or essential oils. You want to store them in a place where they're pretty much isolated by themselves. The other thing is you don't want to take your homeopathic remedies near the time that you've consumed any mint or particularly coffee. So you want to stay about an hour away. So if you've had your morning coffee, your morning toothbrush, you want to wait at least an hour before that, so that mint or that coffee kind of dissipates. Mint or coffee are 2 substances we can use to cancel out the effectiveness of a remedy. So say someone is having what we call a healing crisis, which is a worsening of the symptoms, which is troublesome for the person, but it's actually a really good sign to a homeopath that we've chosen a good remedy. So if anyone's having a health crisis because of the remedy, their body is reacting in a huge way, we can use mint or we can use coffee to counteract the effectiveness of the homeopathic. So that's just a little tip about how to store your homeopathic remedies. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about today, other than a couple of kind of common sense general lifestyle tips. When we're under stress, we tend to expire more, so we breathe in and out more without even realizing it. So one of the best ways that we can handle and help our body is simple water. Water is one of the most underrated things that you can do to help your brain and your body. Your brain stays hydrated, you make better decisions, you think better. When your body's hydrated, you're not starving for liquid. Preferably spring water for the minerals, but if you don't have access to spring water and you have to drink tap water, just drink. Also good nutrition, just like your mama told you, eat your veggies. When you're under times of stress, you tend to, a lot of people go towards junk food, and that's really the worst thing we can do. Give yourself good nutrition with good, healthy, wholesome food. The other thing that can be kind of a difficult thing with stress is often it will interrupt our sleep. And yet we know we need sleep. We need a good rest to be able to handle stress. So it kind of can work against you. So do things to help your body rest. You can use all kinds, and there's so many different things. And again, if you want some help with this, please message me and I can give you suggestions. Not only homeopathically, but lifestyle things that can help you. There are many free YouTube playlists that you can play that are at a certain megahertz. And I don't understand how it works, but if you Google stress playlist and megahertz, you'll find them, and they're very soothing music that you can just play in the background. And sometimes that's enough to help you sleep. The other thing that I can't downplay is exercise. I've been a curves coach for a number of years. I believe in exercise, and you'll find that exercise will help you sleep better as well as handle that nervous stress energy. I'd like to, at this time, I'm not sure what we're at 16 minutes, so that's good. We're not too long. I'd like to turn you to my page, Heritage Natural Health Community on Facebook. There you can find all kinds of homeopathic as well as lifestyle things. We keep it positive. We keep it mostly related to health and wellness, but specifically homeopathics. You'll find some interesting articles. You can scroll through. Like I said, we keep it positive and we keep it related to wellness. So you can like me on that page, and you can also private message on that page, which brings me to tell you about a special I have right now. In this age of isolation, my special service is to offer a free 30-minute conversation with you to answer any questions you have about homeopathy. If you have specific troublesome signs, we can talk about the specifics and I can make you some homeopathic suggestions. This is a free service that I'm giving for this age of isolation. So take advantage of that and feel free to pick my brain on homeopathics in regard to your concerns. Finally, I want to tell you my last stress relieving method. And that is to get yourself a clown nose. You're now talking to Chi-Chi the clown. I do humanitarian clowning in my spare time, and I can guarantee you that once you put on that clown nose, it's very difficult to feel stressed, and it's very difficult to not smile. So get yourself a clown nose and even wear it at home and look at yourself in the mirror and see if that doesn't help relieve your stress. And go over and like my Susan Middleton clowning page, and you can learn more about that side of me. So that's everything I want to say today. Thank you. Live long and prosper. Take care of yourself, and don't hesitate to message me on Heritage Natural Health Community. Take care.